So in this particular video, we're going to look at how to calculate the distance traveled by a stone when it's projected at 30 meters per second from a cliff, which is 50 meters into the sea. So when you are asked to work out that distance, first we need to understand that this object has got horizontal motion at this vertical motion. At the same time, it has horizontal motion. So when this object is projected down, the moment of release, it's moving downward at the rate of 0 meters per second. So which means that downward motion when it's released is 0, but gravity will pull this object down. So which means that we can say S is equals to ut plus a half gt squared. So we are using this formula so that we can be able to know how long will this stone take as it's moving to hit the sea to cover a distance of 50 meters. So which means that this is going to be 50, but from the moment of release, the initial velocity is 0 times time plus a half times 9.81 times t squared. So this is going to be 50 is equals to 4.5. Yeah, I have to be very sure what's a half times 9.81. So that's 4.905 t squared. So which means for us to get the time it takes to land or to hit the sea is going to be t is equals to square root of 50 divided by 4.905, and if you work it out, and then we find the square root, the answer becomes 3.2 seconds. So 3.2 seconds is the time this stone is going to take to hit this point. That is also the same time the stone will cover the horizontal direction. So anytime you are asked to work out the horizontal distance, you are going to use this speed that you are provided at this given point. So which means to get x is going to be given by initial velocity times time, which we usually we say range is equals to ut, where u is the initial velocity in the horizontal direction, and time is the time it takes to move that particular distance. But what is common, or what is the same, is the time it takes to cover this distance is the same time it takes to cover this distance, also is the same time it takes to move in that direction. So the time this stone takes as it moving down, it will cover 50 meters, is the same time it will cover here. So since we had gotten this time at this particular point to be 3.2, then we are going to say our x is going to be 30 times 3.2. I believe you can see that 30 times 3.2, and that is going to give us 96 meters. So the distance covered is 96 meters.